Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another daily devotion. And I'm back from vacation, even though I haven't left yet. I'm recording this before I leave, and you might notice I'm still wearing what I wore for the last devotion. That's because I'm recording this on Thursday afternoon before I leave on this coming Monday. But this devotion is for Monday, September 19th of 2022. I'm in the future, speaking to the future here. We have made it to the 20th chapter of Matthew, the last chapter of Matthew. We're going to talk about verses 1 to 10 today, and then tomorrow on the 20th of September, we will talk about the last verses of the Gospel of Matthew. We will finish up from 11 to 20 tomorrow. So today we are dealing with the resurrection of Jesus. Now, there are two post resurrection tidings of Jesus. This is the first in Matthew, we should say. There's more that happen in the other Gospels, especially in John. But here in Matthew, we don't have a great deal of appearances, a great deal of information after the resurrection, but it's more than Mark, especially if you look at the short ending of Mark. So let's look at verses 1 to 10 in chapter 28. This is the resurrection of Christ. After the Sabbath, as the first day of the week was dawning, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to see the tomb. And suddenly there was a great earthquake, for an angel of the Lord descended from heaven, came and rolled back the stone and sat on it. His appearance was like lightning, and his clothing white as snow. For fear of him, the guards shook and became like dead men. But the angel said to the women, "Do not be afraid, for I know that you are looking for Jesus, who was crucified. He is not here, for he has been raised, as he said. Come, see the place where he lay. Then go quickly and tell his disciples, he has been raised from the dead, and indeed he is going ahead of you to Galilee. There you will see him. This is my message for you." So they left the tomb quickly with fear and great joy and ran to tell the disciples. Suddenly Jesus met them and said, "Greetings." And they came to him, took hold of his feet, and worshipped him. Then Jesus said to them, "Do not be afraid. Go and tell my brothers and sisters to go to Galilee. There they will see me." All right, but here we don't have Jesus telling them not to touch him because he hasn't yet ascended. So that's a little different than some of the other stories. But here we have the guards. And again, this is Matthew, and Matthew is the only one with the guards. Here the guards are afraid of what's going on. Now, I will tell you about the other gospel that we mentioned the other day is the Gospel of Peter. That's a non-canonical gospel, though in the early church it was one that was widely used. Actually, there are people believe that it was more widely distributed than the Gospel of Mark, but not as much as some of the others, as Matthew and Luke and John. But more so than Mark. Mark was always, because of, especially with the short ending of Mark, there's not enough meat on the bone there sometimes, some would say. But in the Gospel of Peter, you have the only actual witness of the resurrection. Here they rolled a stone back and he's gone. It's like he was transported with the television, the transporter from the Star Trek. Beam me up, Scotty, and he's been beamed out of the tomb, the sealed tomb. So he's like, But in the Gospel of Peter, you have the angels come down from heaven. You have two angels as tall as the sky, two men, I guess is what it says, as tall as the sky, and they come down, and the guards are frightened, of course, and they witness these guys come to the tomb and roll the rock away, the stone away from the entrance of the tomb, and they go into the tomb, and they come out with Jesus cradled between them, supporting him between them, and their heads go to the sky, and Jesus' head goes beyond the sky. He's bigger than these angelic figures that are there to bring him out of the tomb. And they come out of the tomb, and behind this walks the cross. And the cross, you have a booming voice that says, "Have you preached my word, my gospel to all the world?" And the cross is the one that responds back, "Yes." An affirmative that it has preached his word to all the world, and there's some really interesting symbolism for that, but it's not in Scripture. It's because it's not canonical. It is a gospel that is a non-canonical gospel, largely because it was looked at as being Gnostic, so it wasn't included in the canon. I'm not sure how seriously it was considered for the canon. I think it was in the running a little bit, at any rate. But that's an interesting story. It gives us this great visual. I love that as part of the Gospel of Peter, and I've said it before, so you've probably heard it before. But here we have Jesus encountering them after the angels tell them he's not here. He's not here, for he has been raised. Like, what are you doing looking for him here? Why would he be here? He's gone. He's been teleported out of this tomb. And with that, I think I'm going to leave it at that. We'll pick up the rest tomorrow with the report of the guard and the commissioning of the disciples, which is the Great Commission, which is, again, unique to Matthew, but it's very important. So with that, I'm going to let you go for today. Have a blessed day, and please, please, please be a blessing to someone today. We'll see you all later. Well, as it is right now, I'll see you when I get back from vacation. All right, take care. God bless.